Hello, guys, and welcome to today's update. And we are going to be taking a look at 02B, which is now Cyclonic Storm Yaas. I hope I'm saying that right. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Anyways, as you can see, it's definitely looking a lot better organized as we did our update. Last night. We're seeing a ball of convection here that's trying to wrap around the center. Um, Most of the convection is west of the center, though, so we're gonna need this to like completely wrap around the center before we can get some intense and rapid intensification before landfall. My predictions for this is between 100 and 110 miles an hour. So mid grade to high end, category two cyclone. This is located 17.3 north, 82.9 east. Maximum winds at 40 knots or 45 miles an hour. I do believe it's probably at around 60 now. Minimal central pressure is at 988 millibars. I do think this is lower too, as well. Okay, so here's the GEPS tracks and minimal MSLP. And as you can see, it has a starting point of 991 millibars here. Um, Obviously, this is from 0Z. The GEPS only does, I think, 0Z and 12Z. So obviously this is going to be wrong positioning and everything here. But as you can see, most models are under red here, so between 980 and 970, which is pretty reasonable for the time and the conditions that this system has. Um, as you can see, the average here peaks out at 975, which is like a high end category two before making landfall. So that's pretty, like I said, pretty reasonable at this point in time. All right, so here's the GFS track in minimal MSLP. This is initialized at 6Z. You know what? Let's see if the 12Z is out yet. So bear with me just one moment. No, it is not out yet. Okay, so we're gonna deal with this one. As you can see, this initialized at 986 millibars. Like I said, this is the average. We got a lot of oranges and reds here, so anywhere from 990 to 970, which, like I said, is pretty reasonable with the time and conditions that it has left. The initialization here at the start of the average is 986, and it makes landfall peaking at 976 millibars. Um, I don't think we have to worry about this making landfall in Bangladesh anymore. So this is primarily a landfall in India, but that doesn't mean that Bangladesh will not feel some effects from the system because it's going to be massive in size. So we are going to see impacts far and wide from this system going west from the southwest from the center and to the northeast of the center. As you can see by the coastline, it's all at a slant there. So that's why I say southwest and northeast. Okay, so here's the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, forecast right now, and as you can see, it has a peak landfall intensity of 80 knots here, which is 90 to 95 miles an hour. Which I do think this will get higher a little bit more before we get to the landfall period. Uh, I do think this will be about 100 to 110 miles an hour as it makes landfall. As you can see here, it's moving at 6 knots apparently. Uh, that's about 6 miles an hour. The maximum significant wave height here is 23 feet. So this is already having some significant, waves with this. As the storm gets stronger, I do expect these heights to get a little bit bigger, probably around 30 feet. Um, you know, the storm surge is going to be pretty bad with this too, as we go out through time. This just because of the sheer size of the storm, and I do expect some storm surge in Bangladesh, obviously in Kolkata, India, um, anywhere within the storm's path is probably going to get some storm surge out of this. So please be mindful of your surroundings. Listen to your local management and all that good stuff to make sure that your guys' lives stay safe during the course of this system. All right, so before we move on to the models here, we're going to take a look at the Yaas long floater here. And as you can see, starting to wrap around and all that. And, it's trying. It's really trying here to get itself going. As you can see, there's some banding features starting to appear here on the southeastern and southern side of this storm. This blob is not too far from the coast, so even 2 days out before landfall, you guys are going to experience some uh, inclement weather on the coast. So that can be anywhere from storm surge, to high winds, very heavy rainfall. Obviously, with it looking like that, that's going to be accompanied with some pretty hefty rainfall. So anywhere within the coastal areas within the next few hours, you may start to see your conditions start to deteriorate as we go out through the night, your guys' time. So I'll definitely keep you guys posted with that. I'm gonna probably have another update video, this evening for further updates. All right, so here's the 12Z GFS here, and as you can see, this is initialized at 12Z. This is the newest run, and it's still not even finished yet. So it has an initialization of 984 uh, millibars here. Take a look at the wind shear here. 16 knots. That's that's all right for intensification, but not terribly good for any rapid intensification. All right, so here's 24 hours. We're at 976 millibars. Let's take a look at the wind shear here. 18 knots, so it's still on the borderline of intensification reasons. Slow intensification, but not rapid. And 72 hours, it looks like it's making landfall, so we won't look at the wind shear here. 976 millibars, and as you can see, there's a lot of rain on the southwestern side of this. Tons of convection with this as it makes landfall. But as I said, because of the sheer size of this, it's going to affect Bangladesh and India at the same time. So let's go out 72 hours. It's starting to rain itself out, but it still has tons of rain to it. But the winds are definitely at a minimal now, so that's always good. 96 hours, it's starting to break apart a little bit. It's just pretty much a rainy event at this point without the wind, so that's always a good thing. And 120 hours out, not too much to worry about after that. Okay, so here is the ECMWF. This was initialized last night at the 0Z time, and as you can see, we got an initialization of 990 millibars. So here's 24 hours out. You can see that it's 982 millibars. And now at 48 hours, 2 days until landfall, we got 968 millibars. So the European wants a Category 3, which I don't foresee that happening unless conditions really start ramping up quickly. I do see, like I said, a mid-grade Category 2 or high-end Category 2 from the system. Despite you don't want to look at the category here in this case because it's like I said, it's massive and it's gonna bring some pretty deadly storm surge with it. So please pay attention to like I said, your surroundings and all that. All right, so here's 3 days out. 984 millibars. It's starting to wind down a little bit. 4 days out, 993, and then 120 hours out, 993. So hopefully this is a case of this, like Talate, it gets out of here quickly because in India they have severe COVID spikes, and this is only gonna make the situation worse because now they're gonna have to evacuate everybody in masses. to get them out of the storm. And we don't know how many of these people actually have COVID-19, and they're all crowding next to each other. So not only could this be a obvious natural disaster in the making, but this can be a pandemic, uh, disaster as well, which is sad news for the people in India. So please be mindful, and I hope and pray for all of you guys that you guys make it out safe. Okay, so here's the sea surface temperatures. We always got to go through these because the sea surface temperatures are really, really important when it comes to tropical cyclone development. Um, as you guys know, the magic number is 26. Once you have that 26 Celsius waters, then that's pretty much good to go for tropical cyclone development at least. Once you get above that 29s, 30s, 31s, 32s, that's when you start to get to the rapid intensification type of waters. Um, these really warm waters or jet fuel to these storms, but obviously they're not going to blow up exactly like that if they don't have the other conditions going for it, like shear. You know, if there's more than two vertices, fighting for supremacy, all that, right? You have to have one solid core in order for a system to really take advantage of these warm waters and obviously the low shear. So obviously the shear is working against the storm. That's why it's not going to be like a Category 4 or anything. And not to mention, it doesn't really have a whole lot of time left in water, anyways. So that's a plus. Um, like I said, you guys are going to experience probably a Category 2, cyclone here. So it doesn't matter. Like I said, it doesn't matter what category it is. It's still going to bring major impacts, like storm surge and whatnot. So pay attention. I probably said pay attention like 4 times in this video already. That's how much I care. I want you guys to be able to sit down and watch these videos after the experience happened, so I can help you guys again in the future. So, like I said, be mindful, listen to local management, and you guys will be fine. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.